Of all the celebrities in the world, Kanye West is one, recognized by a massive part of the world even after disappearing off the grid for a long time. Kanye West is back again. He has disappeared and come back many times in his career and always comes back with something surrounding his name. But how is that? Where has he been and how does he do it every time? Kanye probably holds the record for being viral the most times ever, and at this point it's like a yearly occurrence where he comes out and does something that catches the people's attention. Kanye is known for both being the most hated and beloved person on the internet, but started with just being beloved. At the start of his career, when he dropped his first album, he had changed hip-hop and put a new spirit in the genre. Kanye followed up on this momentum and kept dropping music and only got more credit and love for his music until the VMAs 2009, after he famously drank a bottle of Hennessy. I'm pretty sure everybody knows of this event and the iconic scene that Kanye caused.
Music, so thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
But not everybody knows of the aftermath of this and what it did to Kanye.
You know, it's actually someone's emotions, you know, that I stepped on, and it was rude, period. And, you know, I'd like to be able to apologize to her in person, and, you know, I wanted to.
So when did you know you were wrong? Was it afterwards, as you were doing it? When did it strike you, uh-oh?
It was obvious that Kanye was not happy at this point and thought about quitting music and also ending himself. Kanye made a song called Never See Me Again, which was basically his suicide note. Fortunately, this never happened, and he bounced back with one of the greatest albums of all time, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Kanye wasn't really a controversial figure at this point, and his only controversial moment before this incident was this.
People of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
He wasn't known to do anything crazy like he is now. This was his first step towards the person he ends up becoming for the internet. Following this comeback and major success, he breaks free and gains a new perspective on things, making people unhappy once again. Following the release of his experimental album, Yeezus, Kanye decides to venture into the fashion industry after years of expressing love for fashion and bringing a whole new style of clothing into hip-hop. He then created his famous clothing line, Yeezy, which caused a lot of problems for him, causing him to lose money and also his mind. Kanye goes on Sway's morning show and causes a big scene after he doubts Kanye about his new venture, which also created an iconic clip which even surfaces in this age.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
This happened in 2013, and once again, he had broken the internet. Fast forward to 2016, Kanye had successfully entered the fashion industry and created the new wave at the time, which was his collaboration shoe with Adidas, the Yeezy. The summer of 2016, he then dropped the long-awaited The Life of Pablo, which broke the internet. Everybody was talking about it, but there was one part specifically that stood out a bit. Both the song and music video for Famous had the audience in shock. The song featured controversial lines about Taylor Swift and was an all-around crude song, and it came with a music video where he had a bunch of naked wax figures of famous people in bed all together. This broke the internet on a whole other level and was serving as a great marketing move. This only drove more attention towards the new release of his album, as well as a tour. The summer this dropped, Kanye was everywhere. Everybody was talking about him, and his relevance was bigger than ever before, despite he had been famous for so long. After a successful album and a following tour, Kanye then disappeared for a while after cancelling his tour due to being hospitalized for mental health issues.
A source close to the star says West is suffering from exhaustion and sleep deprivation.
Y'all don't want to lose again.
This all comes on the heels of a series of bizarre concert rants, which were followed by the cancellation of the remainder of his St. Pablo tour. On stage, West has been taking aim at everyone from Beyonce.
Beyonce, I was hurt. Because I heard that you said you wouldn't perform unless you won Video of the Year over me and over How I Play.
To Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head.
2018, Kanye came back to break the internet once again with a unique fashion. He dropped one of his most infamous one-liners, "Slavery was a choice." Amongst this, he also publicly supported Donald Trump, which a big part of the internet thought was shocking and stopped supporting Kanye for this reason. It broke the internet because everybody thought Kanye was crazy for this, and made a lot of other celebrities speak out about Kanye's opinions and rants, which was kind of crazy. A little later that same year, he came with new music, which would make all his haters switch up on him. After taking the previous year off, he had been slowly working on music and ideas, and he had come up with the Wyoming series. He was going to produce 5 different albums, with 7 songs on each album for artists on his label Good Music, and himself. Kanye dropped Jay as a solo album, and did extremely well with much hype surrounding Kanye's return to music. Pusha T, an artist signed to Kanye's label, and is also very much affiliated with each other, dropped an album a couple weeks prior to Kanye, which fueled the love and hate relationship between Kanye and Drake. Let me explain. Pusha T dropped a diss track towards Drake, where he revealed he had a son he's hiding from the public, which made Drake believe that Kanye had revealed it to Pusha, although that has not really been confirmed, just assumed. It's also assumed that Drake had intercourse with Kanye's wife Kim Kardashian, and made the song In My Feelings about her, but also not confirmed. This tension that had been brewing led to Drake and Kanye dissing each other, which made the internet go even crazier. Kanye then made a song on a beat he had promised to give to Drake, but just rapped a bunch of nonsense, which has become one of the most unique and hilarious dices in hip-hop history. Drake then fired back with another diss track, and after that it was a lot of sneaky back and forth disses and died down after Drake didn't respond back to Pusha's second diss. This beef these guys had is a memorable moment for ages for almost any person who was on the internet in 2018. 2019 wasn't a viral year for Kanye. He was a bit more low-key, focused more on being a family man and having a good influence on the world, which led to him creating his famous Sunday service. Kanye decided to devote his life towards Christianity and started making music mixed with gospel and a message from God. Of course, it was all over the internet still, as it is Kanye. But why is Kanye all over the internet every time he does anything? Kanye has been famous for such a long time and has had an online presence for so long, which led to an incredibly broad fan base all over the world, and his music has really resonated with a lot of people, which is most of the time more important than who you publicly support or a controversial opinion. That's why people are always interested in what he does. Kanye in 2005 is in the same position as, for example, Baby Keem, someone who has impressed everyone with his music and made a name for himself, but at the same time, he can fall off any second. The consistent amount of time Kanye has been on the internet is undefeated and like no one else. 2020, Kanye came back to Twitter after not using it for a while, and everybody knows that Kanye is the wildest tweeter of all time. He always has something to say. This year he was going to run for president, which shocked the world and went viral once again, but mostly for his failure to grasp his audience to vote for him. 2021 was a big year for Kanye, or Ye, which he legally changed his name to this year. He also came with one of his most famous album rollouts of all time for Donda. His fans had been waiting for Donda for an extremely long time, as the first talk for this album began in 2019. Ye started holding multiple listening events for this album where he lived in the arena, where he was finishing the album on live stream, where his feature artists came to record as well. The promo for this album alone was memorable, but what was about to happen made it even twice as exciting as it really was. Drake announced his new album, Certified Lover Boy, around the same time as Kanye was in the midst of his rollout. Because of their prior beef, this made everybody compare the two albums and broke the internet once again. 2022 was another controversial year once again, But maybe even crazier than ever, Kanye and Kim get divorced, and their family issues become public with custody issues and who Kim decides to date. Kim starts dating Pete Davidson, who Ye decided to talk about negatively on the internet, which everybody thought was hilarious. That same year, he made a lot of anti-Semitic comments, which took him to a career high in the amount of hate he has ever gotten. He advocated for Hitler and started giving hate speeches on Jews, which yet again the internet made fun of. This made all of Ye's business associates cut ties with him, which took away his billionaire status. Almost the entire internet hated him at this point, but fast forward to March 2023, and everybody has forgiven him for an Instagram post, which said, "Watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again." This post went viral and made 21 Jump Street trending. Now we're at present time, as Ye has returned once again with a new collaboration album with Ty Dolla $ign. Throughout the years, Kanye has been somebody who has been on everybody's mind, with all the outstanding stuff he does. And of course, I haven't included everything viral Kanye has ever done before, but the fact that he manages to stand out as much as he does is probably why he breaks the internet so much, and of course his consistency